talk about Flip. What are you teaching again? How you guys doing? Welcome to another show with Jamie Schmidt, Mr. ServicePro, and John Tornabene, the Parking Garage King. Welcome to another show. We're doing let me just give you guys an update. We're going to announce our guest in 1 second. I see him here already. Hey, Flip. We got Thursday. We got Trudy Wickham coming on. She's going to give out prizes. We got David Carroll, the keynote speaker, coming on Monday. I think he's in Vegas right now. And we're going to fill up the schedule. I mean, guys want to come on. They're very excited about the ServicePro Expo going on, which is sponsored by the PWMCA. Jamie, how you doing, buddy?
Good. I'm just finishing our sharing our thing out because for some reason it didn't want to go out right away. So I'm just getting it shared out for us.
Okay.
And no, doing good, man. Except it being freezing here. Besides that, I'm doing great.
This weather stinks.
Yes,
I mean, you know what they talk about? Listen to this. Let me introduce Flip. First of all, David Flipping, I'm very happy you came on, me and Jamie. I know you had a little stuff going on last week. We wish you the best.
Yeah.
But you and your beautiful wife, Charlene, are teaching at the ServicePro Expo. And me and Jamie go over the speakers. What exactly – well, let me go to that 1 second. I'm going to tell you what I read today. I couldn't believe this. In North Carolina, Jamie, was 17 degrees. The alligators froze in the lakes. You see that?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, my gosh. They froze in the lakes, but alligators been around since before, or at least the time dinosaurs were.
Yep.
I think that's amazing. So their beaks, their noses are sticking up in the ponds, right? Oh, you got to see this. These are full-grown alligators. Their skin is so thick that their eyes stay closed and they stay mobilized in there, but they know to keep the nose above where it froze. They're frozen solid. So, of course, on TikTok, which I hate TikTok. I mean, it's almost like it pulls you in. But they were challenging people to run across those ponds over there. And the problem with that is if they run across those ponds, they fall and those alligators come back to life and they're done. But
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, we got a lot of climate issues. New York and California first, New York second. They like to throw this climate stuff in our face. I don't want to get into politics, but I got to tell you, I'm talking to people in Florida. My high school friends is in Florida right now in Clearwater Beach. It's freezing. This is crazy. It's freezing down there. It's below 30.
In Florida now?
Yeah, March.
Last week it was freezing.
Yep.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Wow.
The world is crazy. Anyway, Flip, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Thank you for being aboard. And
listen, thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for having me. In fact, I actually have like a little peeker over here to my left, standing in the doorway. But listen, we talked this morning, actually over dinner, about what we wanted to talk to everybody about, man, at the Expo 2024. We wanted to do something, man, about working with your spouses. So unless someone else is actually doing that, that was something that was near and dear to my wife and I's heart, man, to be able to talk to folks about what it's like to work with your spouse, man, in this industry, because at some point, we need to really share how we were able to be productive in that and still stay married. Because, think about it. You're with your spouse all the time, man. And I can tell you guys just a little sneak preview on it. In the beginning of this journey, you figure me and my wife, when we've been together 24 years now. And when we got together, we started F&S Commercial Cleaning. So we went from cleaning restaurants together, right?
Right.
To
No.
wait a minute.
Heard the boss talking.
Oh boy.
We went from Independence Blue Cross working together.
Yeah, look at that. So I need her up on stage with
He
me.
was my supervisor.
Oh boy, I didn't want to tell him that, but yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And then we became F&S Power.
F&S, yeah.
Commercial
So
Cleaning.
Wait a minute. So Flip was your supervisor.
Yes.
Now you're married.
Yes.
I'm very happy it worked out.
Hey, you're absolutely right, man.
Flip may be in a little trouble if it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So,
right.
One of the things that my wife and I talked about this evening over dinner was, we had in the beginning of our journey with the power washing, it was very hard for at least me to cut it off. So once, let's say the office hours was 8 to 4:30, we would close the door, but then right while she's cooking dinner, I'm sitting at the kitchen counter and I'm still talking about work, or somebody's calling me, hey, Flip, how much bleach do I need? You know what I mean? Or I'm watching the 76ers game and she's like, are you serious right now? Are you on your phone? Yeah. That was probably the biggest challenge for me. And that took a couple of years.
We're answering emails.
And yeah.
Well, owning a company is all encompassing. I mean, when I was young, I was so into sports. Everything was sports.
Yeah.
And years ago, about 2012, I was at the NOLA event with Dad Eckhoff. And me and him got into, he's the guy that created the Huge, him and Chris Lombardini. And he was telling me, he goes, I'm so into what I'm doing now. He goes, John, this is your new sport, business.
Yeah.
So the way I follow, I'm sure YouTube felt the same way, because you two are huge Eagle fans.
Yeah.
Everything is Eagles, everything. Yeah. If I go back in time.
Basements,
oh my gosh. I can imagine you guys 15, 20 years ago, how so much you were into that.
Yeah.
But business.
We were actually at the game.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I see pictures.
Yeah.
We were younger.
Isn't your basement loaded with Eagle stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. Every wall. Yeah. The colors, man. And yeah.
You guys are huge fans. So, I think that correlates into business too. You can get so into business that it can. I mean, I could tell you stories of guys like I'm not going to mention, but you guys know them, that got so into business that marriages fell apart.
That's right. Yeah.
Completely. I know people. I'm not going to go into it. Obviously, I know some people suing each other.
Yeah.
Over stuff like that.
Yeah.
So your class is going to be pretty much about husband and wife routine.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to have. So
how we got along and how we didn't get along.
Yeah, it was challenging.
Okay, it's good to know.
Challenging it was.
Oh yeah.
And how I'm actually not in it now. I won't tell you my age.
Well,
I'm not in it now, but I'm still in it. It's like
I know you are.
I'm not supposed to be in it.
You're not supposed to be in it.
Still in it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
If somebody doesn't, if somebody's a slow payer, I let her know. I say, hey, you need to call.
Yeah.
But,
well, my wife is in the other room. She's talking to her sister. People can't believe it. I grew up all around girls. I have sisters only and daughters only.
Yeah.
And my daughters are in the psychology field. So that tells you something about me. That tells you a lot about me. But I understand all that. And what I did was I started Clean County Power Washing in 1996 because my wife worked for Estee Lauder. She was already a boss at Estee Lauder. She was moving up.
Estee Lauder.
Yes.
Yes.
And I met her through my sister, who retired from there at the age of 40. My sister was also in management. But, Kathy told me one day, she goes, I really want to stay home with our firstborn, Nicole, who's 28 years old now. And she's a school psychologist in Denver. But she wanted to stay home with her. So I'm like, I was a cop, very busy with my cop job. I was a union president as well. I was very involved. with the PWNA years later, treasurer on that. Yeah. But she wanted to stay home. So what happened was, now I work 2 jobs for 16 years. So I'm wired like that, Flip and Jamie. I'm wired to work all the time. But what happened was, now my kids get older, and Kathy goes, maybe I'll help you out. And initially, I didn't want her to get involved because I felt they should always talk to the person that knows everything when it comes to this type of work. My sister-in-law told me, John, she's much better with people than you are.
Yeah,
Yeah, she sounds nicer on the phone than you do.
Yeah.
Well, today she runs the whole company. Nobody knows I exist anymore.
Wow. No.
Yeah, I'm happy. Look, I'm happy as heck. But Kathy runs it. I'm in the office here in the house, and we have the shopping office. She runs it all on the phone. And it was the best thing I've ever did to get her involved. And now she runs it all. And the customers love her. If you look at our reviews, 50 or 60 reviews, it's all based on her. We do great work too, but I now fell in the background, and I'm kind of like, I want to go further in the background if I can.
Oh, yeah.
I'm only doing the show here because I believe in Jamie Schmidt's ServicePro Expo. And if I didn't do my classes with the ServicePro Expo, you would never see me except for typing on in the groups.
Yeah, it's nothing like getting your time back. But I understand where you're coming from as far as now you have your wife, kind of running the show there. That was one of the benefits. That was really the biggest benefit of having Miss Flip. She was one that was answering the phone. And believe it or not, all of this was new to her. And I think the customers actually knew it when they were speaking with her. But they just loved her voice. And by the time I got to the house to actually do the estimate, oh my God, Flip, I was on the phone with your lovely wife. She's
I'll see you guys soon. See you, Jamie. Hi. How are you?
Hi, Miss Flip. Thank you.
See you.
Yes.
Looking forward to a few more weeks. We're looking forward to
a few more weeks. Warm weather.
Few more weeks.
I know it's cold down in Delaware there too, right?
Whoa! Hey,
freezing.
Listen, it was so cold that my dog literally, this is no lie. Today I tried to get her in the car because I take my dog to the beach.
I love that dog. I see the video.
Oh my God! Well, you wouldn't have loved her today. She tried to snap at me. I said, "What the heck's wrong?" It was cold. I don't want to go to that water today, Pop. Oh man, yeah.
I'll see you guys soon.
All right,
Mr. Flip.
Thanks, Miss Flip.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. When are you going to Florida, Flip? What's your day to go down there?
You know what, guys? We're actually going to drive down.
Okay.
This will be my first time actually driving down to Florida, man. So I'm not sure exactly when we're going to leave, but I think we're going to stay down there about 6 days at least.
Oh, nice.
So we already got a place for our dog to go. Where our vet shop. She's already been there twice already for boarding. We tried that out while we were home. Right. They sent us pictures. She loved it. And so now we're gonna take a road trip. What we're gonna do on the road trip is normally, obviously, we would fly, but we want her and I have so much fun. I talk to her about everything because my mouth just doesn't shut up. And so she's going to be locked in the car with me, and
she might be flying home.
Yeah,
you're gonna fly the heck out of there.
This one, man, and we're going to we're not going to really talk about work or the event that we're coming to. It's just a chance for her and I to connect, right? Talk about our children and our life. I mean, you got to look. We're in our early 60s now. We're looking to retire soon. We want to push this another 6 years, God willing.
Why retire though? Why retire?
My son asked me that today. He says, because one thing this is what my son said to me today, the oldest. He says, "Well, Pop," he says, "years ago you told me that you would like to retire around 55. He said, "What happened?" I said, "Well, we lost one company, with cleaning restaurants. We had to start over, so like through a curveball." I said, "But what I did this time around, if you guys noticed, I set the company up so if I wanted to work longer, I could. Right. So instead of me saying, okay, I'm going to, in the beginning of this journey, I'm going to pile a bunch of money in the bank, right? What I did was I went out, invested in our systems now, virtual assistants, staff, making sure that we don't have a high turnover, train them. And this will be the first year where they're actually going to really be running the company. But these guys have been around so long.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So I said to him, I said, now I can get my time back. I'll go out and do my sales. But you're right, John. If I wanted to go, I'm going to try to keep myself healthy. If I wanted to get in there to about 70, I should be able to, because I won't be physically having to do the work or, kind of reduce that stress. Yeah. But that was one of the biggest things that I told Ms. Flip today that I had to learn the stress part of this business. I didn't want to make a mistake. You're like, oh my God, I don't want that phone to ring and then somebody messed something up. And I said, that's impossible for you not to have an accident. You're not going to burn a tree or a bush. The thing is, how did you respond to the customer? When you made a mistake, did you address it right away? If the answer is yes, which it was in our case, we never lost a customer. They were happy. Right. Okay. So, yeah. But when we talk about, say, retirement, right? Do we want to stay in Delaware? One of the things that her and I talked about is while we're taking a road trip with the car, we want to stop in South Carolina. Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's where me and my wife would move.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah, man, that cost of living down there, man, when you're trying to, you want to retire. I have a daughter in Atlanta. I have a lot of family in Atlanta, actually. And so, we get up around that Spartanville area, man, I'm maybe 2 hours from her. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's what we want to get in a car and just talk about. If you put me and my wife on a plane, flight, I don't care if it's 2 hours, her and I will go first class and I'll sit there and drink and she'll drink. We're not even big drinkers. Then we stagger off the plane. So we're yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. You guys should have seen us when we went to Cabo a couple of years ago down there for
with Carlos's. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, we had a ball because we had 2 flights, okay, to get down there. Oh my gosh. You should have seen Miss Flip, man. By the time we got to Cabo, man.
Yeah. I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah. You have to enjoy life.
I've never been to Cabos, but I've done trips like you're talking about with Babe Ruth's family. I went to Vegas with them. I went to Memphis with them. I went to Nashville with them and with Kathy. And sometimes we had too much fun.
The other thing I like to tell the folks out here, man. You know what? You know what the highlight of these events for me personally?
It's probably this network.
It's this right here. Yeah. It's when I get to sit around with you guys, man, swap some stories, man. I got to tell you, networking is everything for me. I haven't seen Gene O'Neill, say in a couple of years. I can't wait to see these guys, man. And so when you network, think about it, Jamie, when I met you, what was that, 2017, right?
Yep, 2017. Yep.
That's when I met Jamie too, same time.
Yeah. Down in Florida at the U when they put that on. And I think when we got back, you called me up. I had just bought a gutter vac. And I think you and I started talking about that. And look, here we are today, man. Look how close we are. So
it's crazy.
Yeah. It's networking.
I met Jamie in Nashville. Was that 2017 or 18? Might have been 18.
When I did that Nashville event, 18.
Yeah. You know, my dad, I love my father to death. And my mom should be here today. My mother was like a bocce ball champion. She never got a colonoscopy. They find something, she dies in 5 days. It's terrible. So now I got my first colonoscopy after my mom passed. I wouldn't do it either, but now we do it. But my father, I wish my father would go on Facebook. My father's incredible. He says, he goes, John, he thinks I have it made in the shade. He had 150 employees, my father. He built up a company at 55 years old.
Yeah.
His company was going, the company work was going on this. So now he starts another company. My mother goes, I just became a cop back then. My mother goes, if he fails, you're going to support his family. I was a rookie cop at NYPD. I'm like, oh, crap. So my father starts his company. Now he wishes he started when he was younger, but he starts his company with 3 other partners. Here's what they're doing. They build it up. So here's what my dad did. So now my dad sells his shares of the company when he's like 73, 74. And then they were paying him 6 figures to consult.
Mm.
And he was going to Florida all the time. So my father says, I love what I do. I don't do the work anymore, per se, but I love what I do. I like doing these shows with Jamie and you guys. Actually, I'm kind of a little shy with that, but I like what I do behind closed doors. Yeah. And the company runs itself, and I can keep doing it. I tell people I'm not going to go till I'm 80 because I can be anywhere. Between me and Kathy, the only thing with me is if I sold the company, Flip, Kathy won't ever move to Florida. Now we have a house in South Florida. It's too hot in the summertime.
Okay.
We would go to the Carolinas, but my wife, because she won't take that heat all year round. But I'm trapped here because I don't want to give this company up. She feels the same way. So I'm you two are gonna be long retired, living a retired life, buying the golf courses, whatever you're gonna do. I'm still gonna be here because I love what we do, and I have great guys.
Yeah,
and everything I do is based on loyalty.
Yeah,
I'm very loyal to my crew. Very loyal. If they need help, I'll give them some money if they need it. I'll help. Yeah. They can take my trucks. If they got to move some stuff, they'll take my pickup trucks. Yeah. To me, loyalty is what it's all about. But here's the other thing with me. I used to, I play a lot of sports, and I never got hurt in a violent sport. I wrestled, football, and ice hockey in all through school. I never even wore a cup, if you can believe that, because you used to give me a rash. Oh, yeah. And ice hockey was the one. It was really the brutal sport I played in, and football was too. I played softball. We just got married. I snapped 2 Achilles tendons on one play. Wow. Out of work for over a year. One I severed, the other one I ripped. And then I started golfing. See, here's my problem. I don't know how to do anything half speed. You can probably tell by the way I'm talking. I can't do anything half speed. So when I was golfing, when I was like, I don't know, 40, somewhere around there, I started getting all right in golf. I was starting to crack 100. And I tore remember John Daly, the golfer? You guys remember that name? Yeah, I love that guy. He drinks all day long and never works out, and he beats Tiger Woods. So I'm like, he used to take a swing like this all the way around. So we started doing that, and I tore my tendon from here to my wrist. Goodness. So now I can't really golf. I shot pool for a while, but now I wear glasses. You can't wear glasses.
Yeah.
And softball, I couldn't do half speed. And when I got hurt in softball, just parlay it a little longer, there was a guy on my team called Phil. He was 38 years old. I was 31. Just got married. And my wife I was going to play. We went to Hawaii on a Monday on a honeymoon. I was going to play on a Sunday. My wife goes, "What if you get hurt? Who gets hurt?" I didn't play. My wife talked me out. We come back from Hawaii. Now it's 2 outs. My first game of the year, the team's 4th game of the year. So Phil's on second base. He's slow as hell. I'm on first, right? Only one at bat, right? And I said, "Phil, no matter what happens, I'm going to catch you around a base pass." He goes, "Come on, John, really?" That's who I am. And I wasn't the fastest guy either. That's what happened. So the guy catches the ball in the 3rd out as I circle second base, and Phil's not even at 30. I wanted to beat him to home. I snapped 2 tendons in one play. Out of work for over a year. Oh, I never walked the same way again. So even when I was power washing, I blew my knee out in 2011 with my guy. Yeah, I blew it out. It's arthritic knees. I need to get it replaced. I can't do anything half speed, but what I learned was stop doing the work.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now my body's much healthier. I don't get any more of these massive injuries anymore.
Yeah.
But that's the key. And now I have the guys that are so loyal to me, and I am to them. Wow. What else would I do? I mean, I can't play golf anymore because I don't know how to go half speed. So I'm not going to play softball anymore. So when you walk away with your wife, you probably still playing sports, right? What do you do? What are you gonna do?
Oh man,
my father's got a boat, by the way. My father and my mother will go out fishing. That's one thing I can do. They would go out in their boat because they live on the water. They go on the boat all the time, and they would take trips. That's one thing I could do too. They would take a lot of trips.
Yeah.
But
I gotta tell you, man. It would be probably work again. That sounds kind of ridiculous, doesn't it? It says like, man, my God, you're gonna sell your company, right? Hopefully sell that, and think you're gonna retire, but go back to work. Let me tell you one of the things that I actually, and I love what I do. I gotta tell you, man, I really do, man. This power washing, man, is pressure washing. It's a beautiful thing for us, and it's not even about the money. I love the customers. I spend so much time, with the customers when I go out and do my sales, but. The other thing, man, that I'm learning at the same time is if I wanted to get into property manager, I could walk right in, especially one of the property management companies, man, that we deal with. I mean, they actually like my wife and I personally.
That's how it goes. Yeah, that's how it
their
goes.
son actually works for us.
Right. Wow.
Go figure, And so I said to my wife, I said, well, if I ever decided to, hang up the wine and get away from this, I probably would get into, working in there. I could work in their company. We even had an offer. There's an offer on the table right now for us to expand into property management.
That's a tough field because you got to rely. 4 times I got people trying to buy my company, and one of them is he's probably watches Justin Muller. Everybody wants to buy my company, but the thing with property management is you're going to rely on other companies to do the work.
Yep.
And years ago I had the coal stores from New Hampshire down to Georgia. I got my hands on 500 coal stores. And what happened was we took 42 of them, done twice a year, and going back in probably 2009 or 10, somewhere around there. And I gave them out to my friends and people on the internet who I knew, like Celeste Scorthrop. She owned a company, Roger, down in the Carolinas. I gave them all out, and they said, Joe, how much you want? I said, nothing. I get $185 a store, which is clean the store front. They had a lot of coals had 2 store fronts, so you get $185 for each front. So we would do that in 35 minutes. I mean, you've been at coal stores; it doesn't take long. Yeah. So we do that twice a year. This went on for like 3 or 4 years. But I gave them all out to everybody else. All the people I knew these people, and I said, "Listen, here's my connection." I told them I would do this because this property management company had all 500 of them, and I said on the East Coast. That's not counting the rest of the country. And I said, whatever you do, I don't want your problem. In the real world, I should have took money from them. I didn't want their problems. So I set them all up with the property manager. And for like 3 years or so, we all made a great killing on that. I could have made a really big killing on it. But one of my goals, is going to sound crazy to you guys, is I want to live to 100. Like my grandma, my mother's side does. I want to go to 100 years old, as long as I'm healthy.
Yeah.
And you're taking on those kind of stuff. Like me being a property manager, I would go. You see, my guys do such great work. I think I would go crazy when I get these calls up. Hey, the company that came here did a crappy job.
Yeah.
And one of the ones I dealt with, Jim, you heard of them, Prism. I dealt with Prism too. They actually hired us to do the work, and I got away from that because I'm like, we do such great job. My guys are great. I'm gonna tell you, I teach them everything I know, and they're better than me.
Yeah, that's what you want.
God's better than his coach. People don't understand that. A lot of owner operators think they're the best ever. And once they start thinking like that, they're in trouble, number one. And number two, they can't release control.
Yeah.
Releasing control is the hardest thing to do because you really, you and Jamie are great cleaners. So was I. But I realized I can teach these younger guys to be better than me.
Absolutely.
And that's sports. That's exactly what sports is all about. You think Belichick, who played football as a kid, was any better than Tom Brady? Not even close.
That's right.
The guy, Eagles coach with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is some phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
Coach, but his coach is guarding him.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know what happened this year, but
yeah.
If you can lead, if you can delegate, which is hard, it took me a long time to learn how to do that. Then you can do anything.
Well, it's not even leaving, John.
Responsibilities.
John, it's not even leaving. It's not even leaving the company. Not even leaving them alone. It's that mentality's got a lot of guys in this industry, not just this industry, in any industry. But this industry, we're talking about this industry. It's got a lot of guys, man, who they can't hire employees. They won't hire employees because I talk to them every day, and they're like, "Oh, I tried to hire somebody, and they didn't put the hose back in the truck the same way I did." And I'm like, "Was the hose secure in the truck when they put it on?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Who cares?"
Right.
They didn't do this. They didn't wash the house the same way I washed it.
Right.
Is the house clean? The customers are happy? Yeah. Dude, they're not going to be you. They're never, ever going to be us. Like, it's
Michael Henleiter, we all know him, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I took one of his classes, let's say in 2005 or 6, whatever I took. Or maybe even later than that, but it was before 2010. And he made a great point. This is a great point. He says he used to hire his friends. So did I. I had my high school friends working for me in 1996.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Yeah.
I had my sister work for me And that was a bit of a problem. I'm very close to my sister. That was a bit of a problem too. Michael Hinalati found out he was making a major mistake. He said what happened was, and this is going to sound hard for some guys to understand this, Michael became too close with his employees. He became friends with them. Once you become, now I'm not telling you not to do this. He said once you get that kind of relationship, they take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And then what he realized was get away from that, be a business owner, and hire employees that qualify for the type of work. He told me this. I'm never going to forget it. Once he figured that out, that's why he's big today. Because once he figured it out, he says, what I learned was, he said, is my most valuable asset is my employee. Yeah. Not you. You're not. Yep. You don't bring. I don't bring in a dime. I don't bring in 1 cent to my company. I don't.
That would be correct.
So he said, once you figured it out, and you got to hire slowly, fire fast, because you have to get the cancers out of the company. I was firing guys a couple straight years ago. Yeah. And I don't like to fire anybody. I'm like, listen, you keep coming in late, you got to go.
Yeah. Well, they fired
once you figured it out, and then my friend owns a company here. My old cop partner's got a $6 million company here. He told me this. This is another thing I learned. Don't go in the field. I said, what do you mean? Let your guys always go. They always got to make your money. So you may lose money someday because you're slow, but once you start going back in the field, pulling the work away from the guys can make the money. So for the longest time, for like 2 years or so, I wasn't making anything because we get slow. I really wasn't hooked up with commercial yet. And I was going out there. I'm like, oh, I can make $300-400 a day. I'll go do it. But then I realized I can't do that because I got to keep the guys busy. And that's where I am today. My guys are so freaking busy. My main guy makes over 6 digits a year, and they're all closing in on that because they're working all the time. And I never, even though we have riders and stuff like that, we got the sweepers. The only thing I do, you guys may see me on the internet doing once in a while, is that enclosed sweeper. We do those contracts every month.
Okay.
And garages, and my guys are busy a lot of times. So that's the only thing I will do because I can drive it. It's got air conditioning. It's got stereo.
Drive around.
Yeah, and I'm eating a hot dog while driving it. I can do that.
Are you still doing? Are you guys still doing residential as well?
No. Oh no, we shut the residential down like in November.
Oh.
Come on, we don't do no residential, none.
Yeah.
I learned that too because the problem is I always send out at least 2 guys to every job, and you might get one residential. It's rare we'll do it. It depends what's going on. But generally, we shut down residential beginning of November. But commercial, goes through.
Yeah.
So, and we could do more commercial. We used to do ice damming. I mean, not ice damming, ice scales. We'd be out there 6 degrees. Yeah, that's brutal. Good money in that, but brutal work.
Brutal. Yeah, brutal work.
So my guys, I used to lay them off, but now what I do is I keep the 3 guys on. Now I'm losing money. I told guys when I go to Florida, it's probably like $275 now a day I lose because I got the shop, I got the workers' comp, I got all these like you guys do.
Yep.
Yeah, it's about $250, $275 a day. But if you just take $250 and 30 days in a month, I'm already out $7,500. So my guys, we have we Applebee's, Chipotle, Panera Bread, and Menino's, and what they did this morning. We maintain a few of these places, so it's only 1 day a week for my guys to go out now. So the 1 day they bring in some decent money, but the rest of the time I'm losing money. But I'm okay with that because I know when I come back in the beginning of March, we start flying out of the gate.
Okay.
Well, that's a good point too, John. Like, guys got to understand, man. Like, if you're going to have, if you're in areas where it's seasonal,
right?
Yeah. And you got a rock star employee, you got to figure a way. You got to figure a way to make that happen, make it work. Because I have a really good friend of mine that we talk to daily. I'm not going to mention him here, but he's an awesome dude, and so he went through this. It's slow time, and he's like, "Hey, I got this rock star employee. He's going to have to go find another job." And I'm hoping he may come back, right? He may come back, right? Because we go through that. He's like, "But, dude, do you think I have the money to do it? I can do it. I can pay him to get through. I can pay him a salary each week through these next, 2 months and a half, whatever it is, right? Until his season breaks, and I can have him do stuff around here. We will get some jobs here and there." And I'm like, do it, dude. Do it. Absolutely. If he's a rock star employee, do it.
Yeah.
Because you're going to spend more money trying to find another rock star employee. You're going to spend more of that money than you're paying him to get through that winter time. So
it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
And the experience. Like,
and the experience,
it's probably more the experience than the money. Yeah, you're going to spend money, but all that time you invested in that guy, man, and you know what I mean, and that employee.
Oh yeah,
it's hard, man. I get it. As like business owners, guys, you know, mentality is tough. It's hard because we go through those stretches where, you know, we have even in the summertime we get those slow weeks, right?
Right.
And we're like, crap. But you know what? We're going to lose money, but we have to keep them going. We
got to keep them.
We got to keep them going. We're going to lose. They're going to make money. We're not going to make crap. But at the end of the day, you know, we need to do what's right to keep the company moving forward.
So So during those times, right? Let's say when you have the slow months, or like right now, okay. What we're doing is all right, let's talk about the slow months a little bit real quick here in the summertime. Things may have gone wrong at the start of the season, right? You might have had some mistakes. You had some hiccups. So when you get into the slow period, right, you know you're going to pick back up. You bring the guys back into the office, get yourself a slide presentation going on, and you talk about those, you know, give them the goods. Say, hey, listen, you guys really cracked it out there, man. We got, you know, 50 reviews, you know what I mean? And then, all right, let's talk about the things that kind of went haywire. Because one of the things that we're going to do before Florida, all right, we're going to start hiring. So we got to hire at least 2 or 3 more technicians, okay? All right. We're going to do presentations now. So when you come through the door, before we put you in the field, you got to go through a presentation, right?
Right.
And then we're going to, you know, step by step, this is what we do. This is why we go about our business. Then we're going to do a multiple choice, like a questionnaire, like what happens here? You know, what do you do when you first get out of the truck? You know, you got 2 technicians. So we're going to put that, we want the guys systematically so they know, hey, this is what happened. All the way down to a fire extinguisher. How many times have you know, what would happen if you put a guy in a truck and some bleach hits an outlet that they didn't cover, and that guy panics? What, hey, don't panic, go back to the truck quickly, grab that fire extinguisher, do it, you know, it's all the protocols in place. So those things that we're going to do because of what we learned from the previous years.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you're going to have to pay the guys. So you say, man, look, these are rock stars. I don't want to lose them. How can I feel good about giving them money, you know, paying them through the slow periods, train them up.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, I had a guy that blew his knee out in the garage years ago. He still works for me. One of my main guys. So I kept him on payroll. And now I have another guy, of all things, in the beginning of December, got a blood clot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. He got it behind his knee. That's the guy that blew his knee out back in 2011. So he couldn't go to work with that because it darn near killed him. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks. So he's still on payroll. And he's getting better now. He lost like 35, 40 pounds. And he's built like I am, but he's less pounds than I am. But he's been in the hospital for a couple of weeks, and now he's got to eat all this special kind of food. So he if he weighed 190, he's probably down to 165, 170. But the blood clot was causing a serious problem with him. And he's coming back. He's coming back. He's doing much better now. That's how loyal I am with these guys. I'm so loyal with my guys that I feel they would do the same thing. One time, when I hear something crazy, going back to those cold stores, my 2 main guys with me back then in 2009 and 10, and we were up in New Hampshire. And what happened was we were running out of gas. And we ended up in the mountains up in there. And these 2 rednecks came out of the woods. You should see what happened here. They came out of there and like, what are you doing here? They see the New York plate. The gas station's closed. I'm outside trying to get gas and it's closed. And we had my oldest flatbed. We still have that one, the 1999, the F550. So it's me and my 2 guys. And that's the first time we were doing that route. That's why I went with them, right? And they're now they're looking at the truck like, what do you got here? There's 2 guys. I just retired as a cop then. No, actually I was still on a job back then. I could tell right away there's trouble. There's trouble. I could feel it in the air. And one guy's missing teeth, and they're big dudes. My 2 guys step out of the truck, and my 1 guy's got guns, so he's got a gold tooth. And he's staring at the guy, smiling. And I can tell right away there's gonna be a problem here. There's gonna be a problem. Those two guys saw my guy, and my guy's ripped. He's still with me. That's my main guy. Mm-hmm. He was ripped back then. He was like veins all over the place. The guy's just, was really, really strong. He wanted to throw down with them. He just standing. He walks right to the guy, smiling at him with a gold tooth. I'm like, oh boy. So just the point I'm making is, I like to talk myself out of trouble if I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right? Even then when I'm 40-something, I would throw down with people back in the day, but I'm like, that's really don't need to go that route if I can help it.
Yeah.
And I think of that all the time because that guy is the guy I showed today doing the cleaning the barriers. He's been with me 15 years, and he was that loyal to come out of that truck. And I said, you don't have to come out of the truck. He goes, no, I saw a problem.
Wow.
And that's loyalty.
It's pretty good, man.
15 years. 15 years. He's the reason why Babe Ruth, the whole thing with me with Babe Ruth, he's the one that cleaned it. He's the one that took the risk.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's all about being loyal to guys. And my wife and I are going to your class, Flip, because my wife loves the fact that Charlene's going to be in the class as well. I like, I met your wife. I met you guys once, but you and I correlate.
Yeah. I think, where did we meet at? Where was that at?
Arizona. That was during COVID.
Arizona, yes. Yeah,
I gave out the mask. I have a picture of me wearing a John Tornabene.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, the only reason I got that mask is they made it clear to me, I'm not going to pull politics here, but I didn't even want to get the vaccines. And they wouldn't let me on a plane in New York. Yeah. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
So I took one of the vaccines, whatever I had to take. And then they made it clear in the hotel that you can't really do anything with a mask. So I had Christy White, who does all my shirts. She did the shirt. And I have Finprint do all my hats. But she made the mask for me. And, and Christy and Darren are, they're about as hard right as you can get. But she saw the problem. And I gave out the mask. And, it's... To me, if you wear it, you don't wear it. So I was going back and forth, and then I realized, holy crap! I had to put John Tornabene on the mask. What if somebody did something wrong? I go, hey, the money right now. I said, crap! I didn't think that thing through, but that's where I met you. It was during COVID.
Yeah, that was Arizona, man. That was actually a pretty good class, man. Yeah,
that was Craig Harrison's F9 event.
Yeah. Yeah, I see he's come a long way. I think he got his own truck now. I think back then when we were there, I think he was using somebody else's rig, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He's been around a long time. My father wanted me the longest time to design my own surface machines. My father had these $1 million machines that can do all this stainless steel. They punch everything out. It's all computerized. He wanted me to do something with that. But what he did for me years ago, this was back in like 2000 maybe it was. Mm-hmm. My back was getting sore from, I didn't know about electric reels. So I wanted things up. And my father built these stands, and Craig Harris could tell you this. My father built these stands where the reels were probably, 4 feet up. So I could stand up straight and wind them all in. And then I moved on from that. But Craig Harris, I knew him from back then. He asked me about those reels. John, where'd you get those made? I said, my father made those. And I'm going to sell them. And he's got them. He still has them. So my father designer. Wow. My father's a designer. And so Craig Harris, me and Craig go way back, but he's gone a long way.
So okay. Yeah. So he's been around a while.
Yeah, he's been around probably before 2000.
Wow.
You just seen him a lot more, but Craig always had the vacuum setups. He had the
he had the big vacuum trailer.
Yeah, Jeremy Millen. He had that. I mean, Craig is first of all, was a great golfer. That's why F9 stands for golfing, right?
Yeah.
Nobody beats Craig in golf. The guy is a great golfer. He's probably handicapped. He's probably a 72 golfer. He could do that. Nobody beats him. Yeah. But that's how what happened to him was we should get him on a show one of these days, Jamie.
As long as we don't talk about aliens when he comes on the show.
Yeah, I know.
Because he'll go. He'll go on.
Oh, I know. He's funny with that stuff. But what happened to Craig was he got burnt up. I think it was muriatic acid. Oh no! No, it wasn't. It was not muriatic acid. It was what's the other one? Sodium hydrofluoric
acid. It was. Yeah.
Damn! They killed him.
Yep.
And Tom Vogel, you know Tom Vogel.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Tom Vogel weighs about as much as my finger. What did hit Tom Vogel, and he was always there's nothing better than hydrofluoric acid. It's so deadly. I know a girl that owns a company that got the shit on the skin. Yeah. I met her down at one Tom Vogel's event. I went to 6 or 7 of his ACR events. She got on her skin, it burnt her inside out. Goes in the hospital 3 weeks. Her business came to an end, and she's ruined. That stuff, when you get on your skin, you don't feel it. Hydrofluoric, you don't really feel that. You're like, well, it goes in you and burns you inside out. So in Tom Vogel's case, he got an issue with his lungs, and same with Craig Harrison. Was in the hospital. He could tell you for days.
Yeah,
that made him determined to come up with F9 products, mainly the bark, I think it was, that it's safer if you're around it, if you happen to breathe it. You know, up.
Yeah,
you're not gonna get like he got. He was in the hospital for days. He's lucky he didn't die.
Man, that's oof.
That's brutal. So people make fun. People like to say stuff. Oh, I got to pay $45 for a gallon of F9. I buy it all the time.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
There's an occasion we use muriatic acid. It's rare. But no, we use the F9 because I don't want my guys. I got people telling me I know how to make the chemicals too. I know butyls and hydroxides, but I don't want to take that risk.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
We did it. We made a chemical once, man. We got something. I didn't like that, man. I just look.
Yep, just get it.
Yeah.
Well, if you know what, you could do it. I remember Carl started doing EBC way years ago. He talked about that. Mm-hmm. You could do it, but I like to stay to my strengths.
Yeah.
Like it's not my wheel. I think Carlos Gonzalez says all the time, it's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I like to stick to the cleaning part. I mean, I got this company wants to get into striping, which I may do that down the road. But I like to stay in my wheelhouse where I know my guys. It's like you if you're a football coach, you want your guys to be great football players. You're not going to teach them how to play baseball. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
No.
I want my guys to learn exactly what I know, what I was very good at. Not the best, very good, and I want them to be the same. Hey, Jim, we got people on the show?
Yep.
I'm going to give something away. I like to do shows. We have prizes going away all the time. Trudy Wickham's coming on Thursday's show. She's going to give a prize away. And me and Jamie gave away like $1,200 worth of prizes last show. Jamie, you know that?
Yep. Oh,
I gave away 2 convention pairs. And I never give away free garage class tickets. So I gave away 2. What I'll do here is, I still got a company's house. I was supposed to do this with Jamie a few years back. Now these hats, and Flip, I'll hold you a hat. These hats are not cheap hats.
Thank you, brother.
These hats like $25 a piece at least.
Yeah. Well, listen, let me just say this. If you're holding that hat for me, this is monumental for me because I met you. You gave your hat's in my closet, man. You gave
but I didn't have this hat.
No, but man, I mean, listen, getting a hat from John Tornabene, man, that's huge.
And I gave Jamie's hat away at the huge convention. I think he had a hat. He was like, you never gave it a hat. It's like, I gave it a Carlos. That's right. But these hats, what happened was when COVID hit, these hats were coming out of Vietnam. And these hats weigh probably like 2 ounces.
Yeah.
And they're bleach proof. So bleach cannot hurt the snap. And they're so light. So these hats, I buy them from Robert from Finprint. But what happened was when COVID hit, they were shutting down all the supplies.
Yeah.
So the hat you got from me, and it's a good hat too. It's from Christy White.
Yeah.
So, but these hats here, I'll give away a hat here. I'm going to give these last 2 away because I was supposed to, Jamie, I sold this class out in 2021, and Jamie was doing really well with the event he was doing, and then Governor Murphy shut it all down.
Yep, shut it down.
So, what's a question I can ask? Hey, those call me. Look, Stu, you know my buddy Stu.
Oh yeah, I know Stewie.
Hey Stu, I'm doing a live show. Can I call you back? Hey, Stu. Stu, say hi to Flip. Say hi, Flip. He's on with me. Say hi, Flip.
What's up, Flip?
What's up?
What's going on? How y'all doing?
Good, but I'm going to turn you away from the computer because your phone number is showing up for the world to see. Let me call you when I'm done. I'll be done in like 15 minutes. He just freaked out. He's like, oh, my God, you gave out my number.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Jamie, what question can I ask?
I don't know.
What's Flip's wife's name? How about that one?
Oh, Yeah, because everybody's just been calling her Miss Flip, man, for about 6-7 years now. So
let me see.
What is her name?
Yeah.
With the correct spelling.
Well, as long as they say it. If they
okay.
All Jason right. Thomas said Charlene.
Oh, somebody got it. Jason Thomas.
So check your feed. My feed says Jason Thomas.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Jason, PM me your address. You got a hat coming. And Bruce Martin. You guys, Jamie, you know Bruce Martin. Right? Yeah. He's been in my show. He owns one of my soft watch systems. Yep. He told me Jesus. Your wife's name is Jesus.
He's a good dude, man.
He is a really good dude.
Oh my goodness, man. Princess, I got or the Queen.
Yeah. That's great. That's compliments towards your wife. That tells you a lot of people.
Yes. I gotta tell you, man, Jamie knows this, man. She is excited. She cannot wait for this, man.
I know. I got some messages you don't even know about.
I'm sure you do.
That's going to connect with a lot of people because a lot of people in this industry, I don't know. You guys don't know who Tony Zabel is, do you?
No.
He does water towers across the country. He's been in my house. Years ago, when I was a PWA director in 2004, he met me at the convention. I don't know who he was. And he thanks my hand. This is one of the duties of volunteering. And he says, John, you helped my company so much. You give us so much great information. You know, I can't thank you enough. I don't really know who he is. So we shake hands. A year later, he comes on the board. Now he's on the board. He wrote the one of the main power washing classes. And then from there, he is into water towers. And then he's the one who told me in about 2007 or 8, he's like, he's been in my house. And we also clean. You ever hear the movie Amityville Horror?
Yeah.
We cleaned the house next door. We restored the house next door, my company. Yeah, right next door. So he came out, you know, and me and Tony were good friends. And Tony told me, he says, John, get your wife involved. He's the one who told me that. Because what he did was he got his wife involved. Yeah. Next thing you know, they were doing the water towers in Ohio, wherever he lived. And now they do it across the country. Big time company.
Wow.
So, yeah, and this back to what you said, Flip, you know, it's who you meet. Facebook is great. The bulletin boards to me were better back in the day. But it's really meeting the people in person because it rubs off.
It is.
Yeah. We do. Oh, God, I got to tell you, man, to this day, we do 90% at least in-person estimates, man. I mean, I get sometimes.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I get in trouble, man, because my mouth runs too much, man.
Well, you're a people person. We know that. You love the people. I try to stay away from
sitting on some guy's back porch with him, man. And Miss Flip will call and say, you know, your 12 o'clock is waiting for you. Oh, my fault. I mean, so.
But what do you do like residential for us? I've been doing it so long that they'll call, you know, Kathy will pick up my wife always answers the phone, right?
Yeah.
And she picks it up and they're like, we live in so-and-so street. We'd like to get an estimate. And then Kathy takes all the information and she goes, we'll get it right back to you. So she now tells me that. My wife can do the pricing too, but she always gets me involved, right? I said, the house is $375. I see the picture. Boom, she sends it over. They book. So what do you do with residential? You always go in person on residential?
Yeah, like what we do now, I mean, to be honest, like, yes, the answer is yes. We will
go for a house wash, one house wash?
Yeah, for a house wash. But what's happening now, what we've noticed, man, is we're the ones that we go to now, they're big houses, man. They're 5,000-6,000. They're a big beach house. You know, these
that's a little different.
Yeah, these people are paying. I mean, $4,000 or $5,000, man. So, you know, if it's just like we live in a rancher here, okay? So we call that a cookie cutter house, man. You know, we have that price. You know, okay, $349, $350, $375. That's out the door. But when you're talking about, going into this one lady, man, down here last year, her husband, I don't know, man. These guys were spending a lot of money last year, and they had these houses down in Rehoboth. And so when they're spending that kind of money, because what happened was when we got to this one house, in Rehoboth, the lady just called us out just to wash her home. Then she finds out that we do pavers, and she had pavers from the front door, all the way around to the back, to the whole darn pool. And she says, well, just go ahead on and restore that. Do you seal too? We said, oh, absolutely. Okay, then go seal. I was afraid to give her the estimate. And within 5 minutes, she hit the accept button. And so what we did was we shifted our model. We said, look, if we're going to stick around with residential, it has to be worth it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, when we go out and we perform the task, man, we want to be the best at it, right? The guys they excel at this, do just a fantastic job. And it's not even, it starts from that first phone call. So that's why Miss Flip, when she answers that phone, or our virtual assistant, it's if they bomb that, well, for me going out to the estimate, it's our thing is one heartbeat, one rhythm. So by the time they speak from the first call of Miss Flip or Phoebe to me showing up at the door to do the estimate, and then our guys performing the task, it has to be the same. The message should be the same. Right. And when you read some of the reviews, that's what they literally say. They said, my God, when I was talking to Rick, it was as if I was talking to Mr. Flip. And that came from the customer. So the words just starts to spread. So when I say we go do 90% of estimates, we have a lot of referrals. Like our referrals in 2023 beat out new customers. We got new customers from a referral. So they were ready to hit the accept button anyway. Yep. So we do go out, but it's these jobs that we do are big. So it's not like I'm running out. They got me running out to 10 estimates a day. No, there's usually 4 or 5, but they're well worth us for me to have to go out. Because when I get there, I'm not in a rush with them, and neither is the customer. When you have the other thing is when you, at least where we live, and I'm not saying we don't make mistakes, but a lot of folks are scared of pressure washers. They've been burnt in the past.
Right.
Whether it's no insurance or, they damage this, they damage that. And so they want you, these are a lot of these folks down here where we live at the beach, man, they're retired. This is their second home. They live in Florida. Just today, my wife, and she might talk about this when we get down there, one of our customers hired her to babysit his house.
Oh, yeah. I know a lot of cops making money doing that.
Huge.
I've done it myself. Huge money in that.
Huge. So what did we do? I had my office assistant set it up under the company as us babysitting their house. And we got a whole estimate, presentation already ready to go. So like when we go to start any business that we have a presentation that, especially for our property managers, when they want to hire us, when we send that proposal, we also send a small presentation of our company, of who we are. Yep. Yeah. So she got her first job from one of our customers of watching his house. He gave her the key today, and off she goes. So she has to watch it all the way up until we come to Florida. Then they come back, and then when they come back, they're going to go away again for 2 more months.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah. So now you already know what's going to happen. They're going to tell the next person, and
yes,
right. Here we go, and it just it just takes off. And let me tell you, I was telling Jamie this. I don't really advertise this too much, but I guess we're on his live feed. One of our property managers, man, we're so close with her.
Yeah, that's the best.
She's actually every Friday she trains. She does a virtual, and she trains our assistant.
Nice.
Every Friday.
That's making connections.
Yes.
Connections, man.
It's all about networking, and we're going to end this call soon. Yeah. But it's really about, this is why I tell people, look, I've probably been over 60 industry events and conventions and round tables, you used to call them. I did one myself in 2005. But people need to understand this, that Jamie knows I bring this up. I've seen Billy Joel in concert a few times, right? He's got energy to him. Like when you go there, the energy builds he's like a fine wine. He's getting better. He's 74 years old now. He gets better with age.
Mm-hmm.
When you're there watching him play, if you're in the nosebleeding seats or you're near the front, you don't want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And if you told me you said, John, look, go on the internet, go to YouTube. Well, I like to always brag on the YouTube gurus, but go on the internet and go on YouTube and watch this concert. I can go through a minute and a half. I'm done. You know, I'm watching something on a video that's pre-recorded. It's already been out there, right?
Yeah.
But what I learned was, and I'm sure you guys can attest to this. When I go to, I remember when I met you, Flip. I remember Jamie as well. I remember exact where I was. And what happens is, I always tell people, go there like a sponge. Like I'll go by the bar, I'll have a drink. I listen. I'm a very good listener. I pick up more information. I make more connections. And the only way to do that, you're not going to get it from Facebook. You know what I mean? Nope. Facebook, I'm not going to knock Facebook. There's a lot of basic information there. Mm-hmm. But the energy is coming off the people.
Yeah.
People tell me, John, I all week long I'm getting these. I get them all the time. I'm getting these PMs. John, can you do a video of your class? No. Can you consult? Now, I did with two guys that they already paid for my class, but they had these bids coming up. And I said, listen, you're taking my class at Jamie's event. And I'll talk to you. I'll give that to the people who take my class, right?
Yeah.
But I don't really consult because I'm too busy to consult. But to me, I tell them, I said, the reason why I do in class, because not that I'm a great speaker, I deplore speaking publicly, but I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And the energy's there. And it's like when you go see like when you went to an Eagles game against some team, let's say 12 years ago, you remember that. Yeah. What are you going to remember you saw on YouTube? What are you going to remember you saw on Facebook? There's a big difference when you're in person.
Yeah.
And that's never going to change. People could say it's going to change. Oh, no, Facebook dominates the orgs and everything else. No, it don't. Yeah. Because those people who believe that, 95% of them are gone. They don't last.
No.
I can't say enough. I'll give away one more hat in a second. I can't say enough about what Jamie Schmidt does with these events, his conventions.
Oh, he's a king, man. I'm telling you, that's a hard-working brother right there, man.
If you want to spend $1,500, you got to buy the flights, you got to buy the hotel. Hotel's a great deal. He's got a great price for the convention, for the expo itself. You know what? You make that back in 3 house washes. It really comes down to that. You're writing it off. You're writing it off.
Absolutely.
No brainer.
But I want to encourage as many people as they can, man, to attend.
Oh, go!
It's priceless, man. Yeah.
The most successful people I know in this industry and other industries are ones who go to these events.
Absolutely.
Because they take their company serious.
Yeah.
And we can joke around all night long, but the thing is, look, I'm in this business to make money. I'm in it to make money. It's a bottom line. Right. But I teach the people in my class, your wealth is in your health first. You got to have your health.
Yeah.
But don't kill yourself to make the money.
Yeah.
I mean, make it when you can, but you got to keep your health. But outside of that, when you go, I could tell you a story, even with Babe Ruth and them, when I got to meet the people, the energy is electric.
Yeah.
I'm only here I am 28 years later, 29th year going on now, because I went to these things way back in the day. I was like a lone soldier, no one to really look up to. I found Robert Hinliner's bulletin board. I used to call him on the phone, and he would talk to me on the phone. I'm so sad that he just passed away, but these connections you make are golden. I'm going to give away one more hat, Jim. What do you got? What can we ask?
Yeah, you know what? On that real fast, man, I will say it doesn't even matter. Like, when you talk about events, like, it doesn't matter
who it is.
Well, not even who it is. Like, you're always going to get – so, all of us probably forgot so much stuff that we learned so much. But –
that's right.
For me going to an event, I put on an event, so it's hard. I don't – it's the networking, all that stuff. But – I had a chance to go out to AC's. Flip was there. He invited us out there at PWMCA to do. He was going to have a little event there. He invited us as just attendees. Man, and this is my book I have right here sitting on my desk from him. Just like filled. You know why? Because I had the opportunity just to sit there and not have to worry about like doing everything. Just And I've learned so much. It's crazy, right? And
it's crazy.
Like, oh, I know everything. Everybody thinks they know everything, but dude, I'm telling you, like. We don't know.
No, man.
We don't know anything.
Hey, look at my sponsors. I mean, AC Lock is giving away $1,000 reel in my class.
Yep.
You got Doug App, Steve Blythe. I love these two guys are giving away the Pro Clean sprayer. I met all these guys at these events.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mike Arnone is giving away not giving away, but he's got a discount for one of his riders. Jose Ortiz. I think Jose Ortiz is going to be at the expo, right?
Yep.
Oh, yep. I've been in conversation with him in the past many times via phone. But all these connections are made by going. And listen, I'm going to be honest here. If you take your business serious enough, go to these events. Yeah. I mean, my next one I'm going to be at is Jamie Schmidt. And here's my question. I'm going to throw this out right now. What organization is Jamie built up that's really behind the ServicePro Expo? Come on, somebody got to get that. That's a fair question, right? Is that a fair question? Want me to ask another question?
No, you can ask it. They should.
Jason Thomas, come on, Jason. All
right, there you go. I got it right. That should be the first one.
No, but he questioned. Len R. You got that?
Yep, that's who I got. Yeah.
All right, Len. All right, I got a hat coming. Yeah. You two guys got hats anyway. I'm going to bring them to the event for you guys.
Absolutely, Mark. Absolutely, Mark. Absolutely, Mark. You know that.
Oh, look at Bruce. Bruce, come on, Bruce.
Mark Rose. Mark Rose, man.
Look at the right-hand side of this flyer. F9 training and PWA flatwork certification. Like, so we're not everybody, man. We're not exclusive, man. We're a brotherhood. I mean, Flip
brotherhood
today. Me and Flip talked about today. And man, look, and that's one thing these guys should like in business, man. They what I could say to closing this out before we leave is don't
close it out, Sammy. Close it out.
Don't let people like dictate how you run your business and what you do in your business. Because if you do, it's going to hold you back. You know, if you have people in your area saying don't do this or you shouldn't do that, and you think it's right, just do it. You know, the events, man. Everybody to this day, they're like, "Oh, he can't." Them events are never going to survive. We've been doing events since 2018 was the first one, and look at the speaker lineup. It never fails. Like every single show, we pull out amazing speakers, man. You know why? If I would have listened to the chatter, we would have failed, right? So same with your watch business, man. If people are telling you can't do something, and you think you can do it, do it. Just don't.
I didn't even know anything about when I got into this. I didn't know anything about events or
no, me neither.
Went to the first one, and you know when I bought my booster from the Power Wash store back when the booster was out there, I didn't know how to use that doggone thing, right? So what did I do? Right after, that's when I met my man at the airport. I went back to Tampa to the Power Wash store event, bought breakfast for Tim Asselton, and said, "Can you teach me how to use this doggone thing?" You see what I mean? But when I go to these events, man, listen, I'm going to get into each one of these classes as best I can, but I cannot wait to see you guys, man. Give y'all a hug, man. Just chop it up with you. Go home and I'm like, man, I met some other cool guys, their wives, and man, I love them, man. If it wasn't, if the reason one of the biggest reasons why our company took off like it did was because I went and got help. I went to these events. I met some guys. I still have my notes. I can still reach out to them. And so that's what this is all about. It's a brotherhood, man. Don't know why you any different.
The second you think you're the smartest guy in that room,
oh please,
you get out of that room or you're done.
Yeah. Hey, I still got this sitting in my drawer right here. That's Pat Clark's company.
Wow.
Right. So I met Pat at an event, and Pat turned me on to doing packages, bundles, whatever you want to call it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That completely changed my company for what we do. Like, if I never went to an event and I didn't meet Pat, right? I don't know, man. We would probably be, I don't know where we would be right now.
And look where Pat started from in 2008. I just got in. I bought that Swabi, the whole reclaim system to it. That was a $100,000 rig I had. I brought it down there, and Pat was sleeping out in his car.
Yep.
2008. He couldn't afford to stay in a hotel. He was at that event. That's where he started.
Yep.
And then I got to know Pat years. I said, Pat, I wish I would have known. You know, I wish I could have met him there. There's probably 100 people there, but you know, unless somebody comes up to you, you're not going to really meet him.
Yeah.
When I went to my first event, that's when in 2000, Everett Abrams. I went to his in 2002 down in I always forget the city he lives in New Jersey.
Schmung.
Yeah, like the craziest name. He's got a beautiful place, by the way, like 60 acres. He has a beautiful place. I went to a round table. I was at every year we get a house on the water in Jersey Shore.
Mm-hmm.
I was there with family. I left, and my family goes, "We're right on the ocean." And like, where you going? I said, "I'm gonna go. This guy's got this thing going on. It's like 2002. He's got this thing going on with power washers and but John, we're right. The house is on the ocean that we rent. My family, right? I said, I'm gonna come back. I'll probably be back late tonight. I ended up shooting pool at the place till like 4 a.m. But I learned so much at that event. Yeah. And I was like, I couldn't believe there's people similar to me that really want to do this. And now, because we do what we do, we got the house down in South Florida. It's because I learned from people like him and all these guys all along. So I'll close it out. You guys, let's let Flip close out. He's going to speak. But I just only want to say this. They say, some people tell me, John, I can't afford to go. When it comes down to business, you can't afford not to. Because all those nuggets you pick up, like if if you're going to spend, $400,000 flights, the rooms are cheap, $110 a room if you get on the block. Yep. And the expo itself is like $100-something. You really can't afford not to, because what happens to these things, I can't express this enough. Yeah. You're like a horse, you're like a thoroughbred horse. You come out flying out of the gate. When you leave there and go home, you want to hit this thing pedal to the metal. I've always been like that, and people I always correlate with and collaborated with, the same thing. But Flip, close it out for me and Jamie, because you're speaking.
Well, you know what, guys, I gotta tell you, man, I'm elated. I'm ecstatic, man, about coming down, meeting up with you guys again, meeting up with everybody in the industry. As you know, Miss Flip is she's the rock of the company. She cannot wait to get up there, man, and get into this class and join me and talk. She'll probably talk more than me. The industry, I want to say, man, for me, these events have been short of nothing but amazing. Okay, so I just want to encourage everyone, if you can go, we want you there. The networking and all is a beautiful thing. So thanks, guys, thank you for having me tonight. It was a pleasure, and I can't wait, man, to see you guys again, man, next month. And then I gotta say this. When I was going around, remember in the beginning, I was going to all these events, right? Well, Mr. Flip was actually starstruck. And so when I was, shaking everybody's hand, man, and like bringing it back. So when I met John Tornabene, I'm letting you know right now, when I first saw him down there, right in Arizona.
Oh, you were great. I felt like I was a movie star.
Oh my God.
I felt great. I thought I won the Academy Award when Flip came out there. I was like, this guy is unbelievable.
Oh, I said, oh my God, I met this guy, man. It was awesome.
I love that. Hey, Jamie, one more thing to close it out. Thursday night, and Flip, you did a great job. My wife and I are going to Flip's speaking session at the expo. Thursday night, we got Trudy Wickham, who's a superstar bar now. She's going to give away a prize. She's great. Yeah. It's Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Monday, we got David Carroll, the keynote speaker, coming on. And then I'm going to be in Florida by then. So we're going to do a few more shows. I got to come off the beach. But, hey, Flip, I appreciate it. Jamie, you want any last words? Or we're good?
Guys.
Nope, that's it, man. Everybody.
All right, peace out, guys.
Peace and love, guys, man. Good to see everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
All right.
All right.